Hello everyone, I'm Fail, and today I'm listing 5 features I'd love to see in Forza Horizon 6. Let's get right into this. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in a comment down below. Customization can be broken down into 2 parts, painting and modifying, both of which I'd like to see adapted and expanded. Starting off with painting. We've had the same set of colours for seemingly ever, and it's getting a bit boring. I'd like to be able to have more special colour options, and all of them to have adjustable colours. Some new types of wood and maybe differently coloured camos would also be nice. I recently saw a demo of an opal bodywork in an Unreal Engine 5 demo, and I desperately want it in Forza now. It's beautiful. One of the most irritating things about Forza's livery editor is how decals behave when you get to the end of a sticker application area and the hours it takes to line stuff up. By giving us the option to wrap stickers over edges, Forza could save us lots of time and encourage more people to attempt to make cool liveries instead of trying to make something once and then sort of giving up. Another thing I'd like are window stickers. It can't be that hard, surely. I quite like the idea of a racing number on the top left of my windshield, or just a smiley face, because why not? Also, how cool would it be if we could upload and drag and drop logos and maybe even Photoshop liveries into Forza? I mean, yes, there's the chance of people adding inappropriate things to their liveries, but let's be honest, that's already happening. One last thing on the subject of the livery editor is that mirror to other side, well, doesn't. So I'd quite like that fixed and improved. On the modification front, Forza Aero is a bit of a meme at this point. We've had the same rear wings and front splitters forever, and quite frankly, we'd all like some more options. On the performance modification front, I actually quite like Forza Horizon's system, but I would like more of them to have a visual change, like the brakes and tyres do. With exhausts, for example, you could have the tips look slightly different, or with weight reduction, the interior might be adjusted slightly. Moving on to number 2. Firstly, bring back split times! Right, with that out of my system, I think it would be quite fun if we had some sort of qualifying option and procedure. For example, if you were to enable the option for quali in the blueprint, you're spawned 100 meters before the start of the track, and get to set 1 lap as fast as possible, which would then determine your starting position. Other things I'd like to see implemented is a pit stop feature. Currently, if you have sim damage on and break your car is just broken. There's nothing you can do about it. Why is there not an area where you can park and wait 10 seconds until it's fully repaired, and then just be on your way again? Another setting I'd quite like to see would be the option to replace checkpoints with track limits, and finally I'm hoping to see some more circuits in Forza Horizon 6. Sprint races are all well and good, but for competitive races we really do want some more circuits to race around. Of course, Forza has its motorsport franchise for such things, but currently from what I can gather it's actually the Horizon games that are more popular when it comes to competitive championship type things. I mean, personally, I also don't understand the point of Forza Motorsport games. I mean, if you want a sim, there's loads that do it better, and if you don't want a sim, why would you play it in the first place? But that's irrelevant. Before we proceed, I'd like to remind you to subscribe to the channel. Every new subscriber makes my day, and if you enjoy this video, you'll probably like a lot of other stuff on the channel. Thank you very much. Let's get right into number 3. Forza Horizon 5's progression system, or rather lack thereof, is often complained about, and rightfully so. Horizon 5 starts you off driving a hypercar and immediately being gifted over $200,000 worth of cars. What is there to strive towards? Starting as a rich person and becoming even richer is not a compelling story, and as proven by Forza, makes for a highly uninteresting progression system. For me, progression is when you have to work hard to overcome hardships and gain something extra whenever you achieve a goal, when you get rewarded for doing something well. Not grinding money in order to get cars that are marginally faster than the ones you already own. Progression involves improving your situation over time, but Horizon 5 does it with sudden jolts, and often the cars you get as a reward for things are slower or worse than the ones you already started off with. You also never get the impression that the game got harder. It starts ridiculously easy and it just sort of stays that way until you complete all of the races. Personally, I found the short story mission type things highly uninteresting, as a lot of it felt like a rehash of Horizon 4's, except easier. Personally, I found Horizon 3's randomly scattered about bucket list challenges the best. They truly were challenging and fun. For Horizon 6, I'd much prefer one large story, but with side quests, so to speak, rather than a bunch of similar side quests that loosely resemble a story. If you want a more in-depth video on how I'd improve the progression in Forza Horizon 5 specifically, feel free to check out my video on the subject, where I talk about mechanisms and features to give more of a feeling of progression and most importantly a feeling of achievement. Next up is a simple premise. Here I'm going to be listing some quality of life improvements I'd like. First of all, I'd like the Invite Everyone feature from FH4 back. Or should I say, working? Currently, you do have the option to invite everyone, but from what I can tell, it doesn't actually do anything, considering you never actually get invites from randoms to events. I imagine that this was just ported over from Horizon 4, but never actually worked, so the devs just left it there, but that's just speculation. The next improvement I'd like to see also applies to tons of other modern games. The file size for Forza Horizon 5 is ridiculous. It's almost 200 gigabytes with all of the add-ons. If you can't get FH6's file size smaller, at least make sure it doesn't get bigger. One of the most requested things we quite frankly need is more space in the garage and saved livery files. Currently, the most amount of paint jobs you can have is a lot lower than the amount of individual cars in the game, let alone the total cars you can have in your garage. In your own convoys, I'd also like to see more spaces. In online open, I think 12 is the sweet spot, but when we're doing our own thing, I for one would certainly like more spaces. 16 or even 20 maybe. The last quality of life improvement would be stability and just a working game. The launch of Horizon 5 was a mess, and while its stability has improved over time, and it has, the expansions on the other hand are still a bit of a mess as far as I can tell. It took weeks for the Rally expansion to not keep crashing. I still have this funky bug where on the Rally Goliath there's a pickup truck in the festival section that doesn't spawn for me, and if I drive where it is, my game just dies. The Hot Wheels expansion is somehow less functional than the Horizon 3 one. In Horizon 3 you could drive as fast as you wanted and wouldn't glitch through the ground. Horizon 5 on the other hand, the whole idea is the Hot Wheels lets you go as fast as possible, but nope, let's glitch through the ground. To be fair, this could be that you weren't able to go as fast in Horizon 3 as you are in Horizon 5, but surely Horizon 5 should account for that. As we come to number 5, I'm very interested in your opinions. What do you think about my list? What would you like to see in FH6? I read every comment, so let's have a debate down below on the future of Forza Horizon. Okay, now this would be a completely unnecessary feature, but I find it quite fun to be able to walk around in the world, to appreciate the map in a slower way. This would also give us the opportunity to wander around the areas behind invisible walls and experience the Horizon Festival, which is apparently important to the series as people keep reminding us. We could also have our own garages and be able to walk around the houses we buy rather than just them functioning as spawn points with a bit of a visual advantage. In an ideal world, these houses would be customizable, and you'd also be able to visit your friends' houses. Again, this feature is completely unnecessary, but I think it would be a rather popular gimmick among the fans. Or am I completely wrong? Again, do tell me in the comments if you think I'm being an idiot. And on that note, I do hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and opinions in a comment down below. Subscribe, leave a super thanks, and have a nice day. Goodbye.